It started slowly. I'd fall asleep fine, but by 2 or 3 in the morning, I was wide awake, staring at the ceiling. Some nights I'd toss and turn until sunrise. Other nights I'd fall back asleep, only to wake up feeling like I hadn't rested at all. At first, I thought it was just a bad week, or maybe stress. But it kept happening, night after night. And the older I got, the worse it seemed to get. If you're over 60 and struggling with sleep, please know you're not alone. It's something so many of us deal with, but few of us talk about openly. I didn't talk about it for years. I just powered through the groggy mornings, the brain fog, the irritability. I told myself, that's just what getting older feels like. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. I wasn't just tired, I was running on empty. Sleep is different after 60. Our bodies change. Our hormones shift. Sometimes we're dealing with health issues or medications that affect our sleep patterns. And even though we may need just as much sleep, it becomes harder to get it. But here's the part I want to share with you. There are things that help. Small, consistent changes that slowly rewired the way I rested. I don't sleep like I did at 25, and I don't expect to, but now, I wake up feeling like I truly rested. And that has made all the difference. I want to tell you about a few changes I made. And I want to do it in a way that's honest, not preachy. Because I know how frustrating it is to be told to just relax when your body feels wired or heavy or restless.
It will not define you.
So let me start with the first shift that truly helped.
You still
I stopped
have choice.
treating bedtime like a deadline.
And most of all, you still have
For
worth.
years, I'd watch the clock.
Let's keep going.
I'd tell
There's
myself,
one more thing
I
I
have
want
to
to
fall
share
asleep
before
by
we
10,
finish.
or if I don't sleep
Something
now,
that helped
tomorrow
me
will be
reconnect with
awful.
life and with hope.
That pressure
in a way
made
I never
everything
expected.
worse.
It's
I'd lie in
this,
bed,
laughter has
staring
healing
at the
power.
ceiling, getting more and
And I
more
don't mean the
anxious
fake
with every
kind.
passing minute.
I mean the real,
My heart would
belly deep
race.
kind that sneaks up on
My
you.
thoughts would spiral.
The kind that happens
And
when your
sleep would
friend
drift
says something
further and
silly at
further
just
away.
the right time, or when your
One night,
grandchild
after
makes
yet
a
another
face and
sleepless
suddenly,
stretch,
the whole
I got out
room
of
erupts
bed
in
and
joy.
walked into the living room.
During treatment,
I
there
lit
were
a
days I
candle.
couldn't laugh at all.
I sat quietly.
Everything felt heavy.
I didn't reach for my phone.
But the moments I did find
I
laughter,
didn't turn on the
they
TV.
gave me life.
I just
They
let
reminded
myself
me that
exist
even though I was
without
fighting something
expectation.
terrible, I was still
And something
alive.
in me softened.
Still human.
I realized my body
Still
wasn't broken.
capable of feeling something
It
other
was
than
just
fear.
asking me to slow down in a
I
different
started
way.
watching comedies again.
So I began doing
I
something
made a
new.
rule for myself. 10
I
minutes
created a
of
little
something
ritual,
like every
not
day.
just for bedtime,
Even
but for
when I didn't
winding
feel
down.
like it.
About an hour
Especially
before
when I
sleep,
didn't feel
I
like
dimmed
it.
the lights.
And slowly,
I put on
that
soft
lightness
music
found
or
its
nature
way back
sounds.
into my spirit.
I make a warm
Laughter
herbal tea,
doesn't fix
something
everything,
without caffeine.
But it makes the
And
pain
I give
feel
myself
less sharp.
permission to ease into sleep
It opens a window
instead
when
of
the room
forcing it.
feels too dark.
That shift in mindset,
And it brings you back to the
treating
present
bedtime
moment,
as a transition,
where love
not
and
a
connection
task,
live.
helped me relax more
If you
deeply
can,
than any
find
pill
a
ever
way to
did.
laugh, even a little.
The second thing I
Watch
changed
that
was my
silly show.
relationship with
Call
screens.
that funny friend. Read the
I
comic
used to
strip.
scroll through my phone before
Let joy
bed,
sneak in through
sometimes
whatever
for an
crack it
hour or
can.
more.
You don't have to
News,
feel happy all the time.
emails.
But even one
social
moment of
media.
laughter can remind you that your
It
soul
felt
is
like I
still
was
here,
catching up or
still
unwinding.
shining.
But what I was
So
really
here
doing
we
was
are.
overstimulating my brain.
You've walked with me through the
The
things I
blue
wish
light,
I'd known
the
during
headlines,
treatment.
the endless content,
maybe some
it all
of these
kept my
things
mind
speak to
racing
you.
long after I put the phone
Maybe
down.
some of them are reminders.
I started leaving my
Maybe
phone
they
in
offer
another room
comfort.
at night.
I hope
That wasn't
so.
easy at first.
Because if there's one
felt
thing
like
I've
I was
learned
missing
through all
something.
of this, it's that healing
But after
isn't
a
just
few
about
nights,
the body,
I
it's
noticed
about
the
the
difference.
heart. And
My
even
mind
after
felt
cancer,
quieter.
even after the scars
My
and the
thoughts
worry
slowed
and the
down
fear,
sooner.
there is still life.
I fell asleep
There
faster.
is still light.
And most importantly,
there is still
I
you.
stayed asleep longer.
Thank you for being here, for listening, for feeling, and for not giving up on your story. If this video spoke to you, please leave a comment or share your story. You never know who might need it. And if you'd like to hear more honest, hopeful reflections like this, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, take care of your body, guard your peace, and never forget, you are still here, and that is a beautiful thing.
Instead of scrolling, I started reading. Not anything heavy or dramatic, just gentle stories, poetry, or something light. It helped me shift from the chaos of the world into the calm of my own breath. It's amazing how much our minds absorb without us realizing. And cutting off that noise gave me back a sense of control over my evenings. There's more I want to share, more shifts that brought real rest back into my life. And if you've ever laid awake at 3 a.m. wondering if it'll ever get better, I promise you this, it can. And it starts with small, loving steps. Another thing I began doing, and this one surprised me, was paying attention to my evening meals. For years, I thought it didn't matter what or when I ate at night, as long as I kept it light. But I noticed a pattern. On the nights I had a late dinner, especially something heavy or spicy, I slept terribly. It wasn't just indigestion. My whole body felt restless. And sometimes I'd wake up at odd hours, heart racing, wondering why I couldn't drift off again. That's when I started experimenting. I shifted dinner to earlier in the evening, at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. I chose simpler meals. Nothing too rich or too sugary. And little by little, I began sleeping deeper. My body had time to digest. I didn't feel bloated or uncomfortable lying down. It may sound small, but it was one of the biggest changes I made. Sleep became less disrupted. Mornings became clearer.
So if you're listening to this
Even
and
now,
you're in the thick of it,
I stick to that
please
rhythm.
know, this journey
An
will
early,
shape you,
light
but
dinner
it will not
followed by a
define
slow
you.
evening. Nothing
You
that
still
jolts
have
the
power.
system.
You
It's
still
become
have
a quiet
choice.
gift I give myself.
And most of all, you
A way
still
of
have
saying,
worth.
I care about how
Let's
you'll feel
keep going.
tomorrow.
There's
The
one
last
more
change
thing
I want to share came
before
from
we
noticing
finish.
something that had been missing.
Something that
Not
helped
something
me
I was
reconnect
doing
with
wrong.
life and with hope
I
in a way
realized
I
I had
never
stopped
expected.
going outside.
It's this.
I'd retired,
Laughter has healing
the
power.
seasons changed,
And I
without
don't mean the
work or
fake
errands
kind.
pushing me out the door,
I mean the
I began
real,
spending
belly deep
almost
kind
all
that
day
sneaks
inside.
up on you.
At
The
first,
kind that
I didn't
happens when
think
your
much of
friend
it.
says something silly
But
at
then I
just the
read
right
something
time,
about how
or when your
exposure to
grandchild
natural
makes a
light during
face
the
and
day
suddenly
helps regulate
the
our
whole
body's
room erupts
internal
in joy.
clock, our circadian
During
rhythm.
treatment, there were
And
days
without
I
that
couldn't
daily
laugh at
dose
all.
of sunlight, our
Everything
sleep
felt
cycles get
heavy.
confused.
But the moments
We
I
feel
did
awake
find
at night
laughter,
and sluggish
they gave
during
me
the day.
life. They
So I
reminded me
tried
that
something
even though I was
simple.
fighting something terrible,
I began
I was
sitting
still
outside in
alive.
the morning, just for
Still
15 or
human.
20 minutes.
Still capable
Sometimes
of feeling
I'd sip
something
tea
other
on the
than
porch.
fear.
Other
I started
times I'd
watching
walk slowly
comedies
around the
again.
garden.
I made a
The
rule
fresh
for
air,
myself,
the sunlight,
10 minutes of
the
something
movement,
like
it
every
shifted
day,
something inside me.
even when I didn't feel
My
like
body
it,
began to relearn the difference
especially
between
when I
day
didn't
and
feel
night.
like it. And slowly, that lightness found its way back into my spirit. Laughter doesn't fix everything, but it makes the pain feel less sharp. It opens a window when the room feels too dark, and it brings you back to the present moment, where love and connection live. If you can, find a way to laugh, even a little. Watch that silly show, call that funny friend, read the comic strip. Let joy sneak in through whatever crack it can. You don't have to feel happy all the time. But even one moment of laughter can remind you that your soul is still here, still shining. So here we are. You've walked with me through the things I wish I'd known during treatment. And maybe some of these things speak to you. Maybe some of them are reminders. Maybe they offer comfort. I hope so. Because if there's one thing I've learned through all of this, it's that healing isn't just about the body, it's about the heart. And even after cancer, even after the scars and the worry and the fear, there is still life. There is still light. And there is still you. Thank you for being here. For listening. For feeling. And for not giving up on your story. If this video spoke to you, please leave a comment or share your story. You never know who might need it. And if you'd like to hear more honest, hopeful reflections like this, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, take care of your body, guard your peace, and never forget, you are still here, and that is a beautiful thing. Within a week or two, I noticed I was getting sleepier at bedtime. Not the anxious, tired but wired kind of sleepy, but the gentle, natural kind. And in the morning, I felt like I'd actually slept. Sometimes healing doesn't come from doing more.
It comes from reconnecting with the simple things, light, movement, rhythm. That little walk outside became part of my new normal. And it grounded me in a way that made rest feel less like a struggle and more like something my body knew how to do again. Sleep after 60 doesn't have to be perfect. It probably won't be. But it can still be peaceful. It can still restore you. And it starts by listening, really listening, to what your body needs. Let me share one last thought before we wrap this up. Because sometimes, the most powerful change isn't what we do, it's what we believe about rest. And that shift can change everything. I used to think rest was earned. That I had to finish everything on my list, that I had to be productive all day before I was allowed to rest. And even when I physically stopped, my mind kept running, guilting me for not doing more. But slowly, I began to see rest differently. Not as a reward, but as a right. A need. A form of nourishment, just like food or water. And when I gave myself permission to rest, truly rest, something shifted. I felt more present. More whole. More myself. Now, I don't wait until I'm exhausted to care for myself. I build rest into my days, short breaks, quiet moments, deep breaths. And at night, when I lay down, I remind myself, I am safe. I am allowed to rest. I am not behind. I am simply human. If sleep has been a struggle for you, please know there is hope. You are not broken. You're just in a new chapter. And new chapters call for new rhythms, new kindnesses, new ways of listening to your body. Try one small change, then another. Let it build. And trust that your body remembers how to rest. Sometimes it just needs you to slow down long enough to hear it. If this video helped you, or if you have your own story about sleep after 60, I'd love to hear it. Leave a comment below. It might help someone else feel a little less alone. And if you'd like more stories like this, gentle, honest, hopeful, go ahead and subscribe. We're building a space where your journey is honored, your voice is heard, and your well-being matters. Wishing you peace tonight, and every night that follows.